my wife sat me down, tears in her eyes, and said, "I need to be honest. I tested positive." I reached for her hand, ready to reassure her, until a cold realization hit me. I hadn't touched her in months. My voice was barely a whisper as I asked, "Who did this to you?" She collapsed at my feet, sobbing. "Please don't leave me. I'm a 42-year-old man living in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been married to Melissa for 13 years. I thought we were solid. We weren't rich, but we had a decent life. I worked full-time at a local mechanic shop. Melissa worked part-time at a dentist's office just down the road. We never had kids, infertility problems, lots of doctor visits, heartbreak, and eventually, we stopped trying. That pain never left completely, but we got used to it. Or I thought we had. Then 2020 hit. COVID came through like a wrecking ball. Business slowed to a crawl. We were shut down for 2 months. I had way too much time to think. Too much time to sit with old memories I thought I buried. I didn't realize it back then, but I started pulling away. I got quiet. Numb. I wasn't sleeping right. I'd wake up gasping or sweating through the sheets. Some nights, I just laid there staring at the ceiling until morning. Melissa tried. At first, she really did. She'd bring me food, tried to get me to talk, suggest therapy. But I kept telling her I was fine. She eventually stopped asking. One night, I just moved to the guest bedroom without a word. Told her I snored too loud. That was a lie. I didn't want her hearing me cry anymore. And I didn't want to see the look in her eyes when I didn't reach for her. We lived like that for months. Quiet. Routine. Separate. Then, last April, she came home from work early. She looked like hell, puffy eyes, red nose, hair a mess. She said, "Can we talk?" I figured it was about money or maybe the house. But then she sat down, her hands shaking. She couldn't look at me. She said, "I need to be honest. I tested positive." I laughed, actually laughed a little, thinking she meant COVID. But then she added, "It's not that. It's chlamydia." I went completely still. For a second, I thought maybe I gave it to her. I tried to remember, did we? But no. We hadn't touched each other in 6 months. Maybe longer. My stomach turned to stone. I reached out, automatic reaction, to comfort her. Then I stopped. I stared at her, realizing exactly what this meant. "Melissa," I said slowly, "who did this to you?" She collapsed to her knees, sobbing. "Please don't leave me. Please, please. It was a mistake, just one night. I didn't plan it. I was lonely, and you were so cold, and—" I didn't yell. I didn't say a word. I got up, went to the bedroom, grabbed a blanket and a pillow, and laid down on the couch. I heard her crying behind me for hours. But I never turned around. That was the last night we slept under the same roof. The next morning, I left before sunrise. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't leave a note. I grabbed my old duffel bag, packed some work clothes, and went to stay at the garage. My boss, Ray, let me crash in the break room for a few nights while I figured things out. Said he'd done the same thing once, cheating wife, messy divorce. He didn't ask questions, and I didn't offer details. Melissa blew up my phone the whole day. Calls. Texts. Voicemails of her crying, begging, saying she'd do anything to fix it. I didn't respond. Not once. I went to urgent care that night and got tested. Just in case. I was clean, which only made it worse. That night, lying on the break room couch, everything hit me at once. 13 years. Gone. Torn apart by one decision. And still, something didn't sit right. Melissa said it was just one night. But chlamydia doesn't show up instantly. I started reading online, incubation times, symptoms. If she tested positive now, it probably meant she'd been carrying it for weeks. Maybe months. Maybe longer. I opened her laptop the next time I stopped by the house. She was at work. I told her I was just picking up my tools. That was a lie. She hadn't changed her password. I didn't even know what I was looking for at first. But then I checked her email. Nothing there. Then I opened her Facebook messages. There he was. Let's call him Derek. A guy from her high school. He worked at a used car lot 2 towns over. Tall, bald, goatee, always posted weird gym selfies. He was married too. I remembered seeing him comment on her photos years back, calling her gorgeous or queen. I didn't think much of it then. Their messages went back over a year. Flirting turned to sexting. Sexting turned to hotel receipts. And not just one time. Over and over. Some dates matched up perfectly with those girls' nights. They even joked about it. Called themselves ninjas. Sick. She wasn't lonely. She wasn't desperate. She was cheating behind my back for over a year and telling me it was just a one-time mistake. I took screenshots. Every message. Every photo. Every date and time. Then I printed them. I waited until Sunday. Her parents always had her over for dinner on Sundays. They lived 10 minutes from us. I knew she'd be there. I showed up just as they were sitting down at the table. I didn't knock. I walked straight in. Her dad stood up. Son, what? I looked straight at Melissa. She froze. Fork in hand? Her mom's face went pale. I dropped the stack of papers on the table. Read it, I said. All of it. She started crying instantly. Her mom looked like she was about to faint. Her dad picked up the papers and flipped through them, slow. Then he slammed the table and yelled, Is this real? Melissa couldn't speak. I turned and walked out. That was the last time I saw her face to face. After that Sunday dinner showdown, everything moved fast. Melissa tried to call me the next day, but I blocked her. I blocked her parents too. I needed space, and more than that, I needed to figure out what I wanted. Divorce was obvious. But I wanted it to matter. I wanted the truth to cost her something. So I got a lawyer. Turns out Tennessee is a fault divorce state. Meaning, if I could prove adultery, it wouldn't just end the marriage, it could change how assets were split. She might even lose spousal support. And I had proof. All of it. While the lawyer worked on the paperwork, I started hearing things from around town. Knoxville's not that big. Turns out Derek's wife, let's call her Jamie, had found out too. I guess my little info dump set off a chain reaction. Melissa must have panicked, tried to do damage control, but it was too late. Jamie posted everything. Screenshots. Texts. Hotel receipts. She even tagged Melissa in the post. Said she hoped this homewrecker enjoys paying for 2 divorces. That post spread like wildfire. Melissa's job saw it. Her church friends saw it. Everyone saw it. By the time she called my lawyer begging for a private meeting, her life was already in pieces. But it gets worse. I didn't expect this, but a few weeks into the divorce, Melissa's sister, Rachel, reached out to me. Said she needed to talk. I figured it was just family drama. But what she told me next threw everything sideways. Apparently, this wasn't Melissa's first affair. Rachel said Melissa had cheated once before. Years ago. Back when I first moved into the guest room, when I was still grieving all the infertility stuff. Some coworkers she met at a training conference. It didn't last, Rachel said, but she always knew Melissa wasn't telling me the truth. And Rachel had proof too, old texts Melissa had sent her, asking for advice, begging her to keep it secret. She kept them all these years. Just in case. So this wasn't some desperate moment. It was a pattern. That flipped a switch in me. I sent everything. Old messages, new ones, screenshots from Facebook, to her job's HR. I didn't expect them to do much, but I figured they should know who they had around their patients. Turns out Derek used to be one of the clients at that same dental office. Conflict of interest. Gross misuse of company time. Boom. She got fired the next week. Then came the kicker. My lawyer found out that Melissa had opened a separate savings account in her name during our marriage. Almost $9,000. Not huge money, but still, money she'd been hiding. Said it was for emergencies. Funny thing is, she'd pulled from it to help Derek pay off some credit card debt. Yeah. She gave our money to the guy she was cheating with. So now, the divorce had fraud attached. Things turned ugly fast. And I wasn't done yet. I started thinking about Derek again. I knew where he worked. I knew what kind of sleazy sales gimmicks they pulled at that used car lot. I also knew a guy, Eddie, who used to work there but left after they stiffed him on commissions. Eddie owed me a favor. So I made a call. Eddie didn't ask why I wanted the dirt. Just said, "Meet me behind the Waffle House at 8. I got something for you." He handed me a flash drive. Said it had recordings, audio clips from back when he worked the lot. Derek was caught bragging to another guy about fake warranties and adjusting mileage on trade-ins. It wasn't clear enough to be court-level proof, but it was dirty. It was real. I uploaded everything to a burner email. I sent it to the Better Business Bureau. Then I made a post on a Knoxville community Facebook group, anonymous, with screenshots, recordings, and a short message. Thinking about buying a car from Derek's dealership? You might want to listen to this first. Within 2 days, their reviews tanked. Customers started demanding refunds. Derek was let go. For unrelated reasons. But everyone knew. I heard he went home drunk and tore up his own garage with a baseball bat. Jamie took the kids and left. Filed a restraining order. I should have felt good. I thought I would. But I didn't. I felt hollow. The divorce dragged for 4 more months. Melissa tried to fight for half the house. My lawyer shut it down with every bit of evidence we had. She ended up with nothing but her car, a few pieces of furniture, and whatever was left in that secret account, about $400 after legal fees. She moved in with her sister. I guess Rachel felt guilty. One night, she showed up at the garage. It was late, maybe 9:30. I was finishing up a transmission job. She just stood there in the doorway. "I lost everything," she said. I didn't say a word. "I don't blame you," she whispered. "I blame me." I nodded. "Good." She started crying again. Said she missed me. Said she didn't recognize herself anymore. Said I had every right to hate her, but begged me to believe she once loved me. Maybe she did. Maybe that was the worst part. "I messed up," I said. "But I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't sneak around." "I know," she said. And that was it. I didn't forgive her. I didn't hug her. I didn't tell her to leave either. I just turned back to the car I was working on. After a minute, she walked out. I haven't seen her since. The divorce was finalized last fall. I kept the house. I kept my tools, my truck, and my name. But revenge doesn't fix what's broken. I sleep in the same bed, but it feels colder. I eat dinner alone at the same kitchen table we used to laugh at. I'm not proud of everything I did. But I don't regret it either. She wrecked 13 years in secret. I just brought it into the light. People say revenge is a dish best served cold. I think it's just a dish nobody walks away from hungry. And me? I ate every bite.